So are you on Robbie, are you on like a kind of an all-time high right now with this nice little 11-game win streak and a just complete turnaround as opposed to, what was it? Was it 2 months ago, a month and a half ago when you and your brother just went on this rant in our group chat just for like an hour straight, just complaining about the team?
Yeah, it was a deep state of depression in Yankee land. It was really bad. There's no other way of describing how just upset, and because even if it's like not, it wasn't even that they weren't. They just weren't a team, and they just the expectations coming in that we were at least going to make the playoffs. And I was joking about prior that even the way that we're playing right now, I expect to be in October or in some facet, whether that's wild card. And there just looked like there was no hope for a portion of time. And once we headed into the early July, it was like, I don't think this is happening. But they made some moves, and they're finally doing. They're playing baseball. They're putting out lineups that are baseball lineups, and they're not just sticking to their typical BS they've done for the past 2-3 years prior. And they're putting out a product that Yankee fans are saying, okay, now we're doing stuff that other teams are doing, or other big, or the people we're competing with are supposed to be doing. And it's just it's good that it's here, but before it was just so mind-boggling with the stuff they were doing.
On top of you guys playing competent baseball again, you're also taking advantage of the meltdowns of the Red Sox and us as well. That is Robbie Schlatter, ladies and gentlemen, of the Four Train Savages podcast. He's joining us this week because we have a series with the Yankees coming up. This is recorded on Wednesday, August 25th. So, on top of the highs that you're at now, like what are the things that you think have like really, obviously the trade deadline was a big one that helped out, but what are the other things that you think have really turned this team around?
So to lump it all kind of together, obviously on face value, the trade deadline and getting Gallo and getting Rizzo in here, Clay Holmes too, under the radar. I wouldn't really give too much to Andrew Heaney, but he did have that good start against Boston, so I'll give him that. But the thing that they started doing, as what I said earlier, was they started doing baseball stuff. They started pressing baseball, so not messing around with
small ball. You mean like stealing?
No,
bags?
not
like,
even that. A little bit, but not even that. So they were an unathletic team making mental errors, physical errors, managerial errors, and they fixed pretty much all of that in that stretch. They're running the bases. Since the deadline, or since a portion, I think in the deadline, but second half of the season, they're leading Major League Baseball in steals. They are playing like I talked with Julio in our podcast before. They're playing Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield. Who would have known a guy that looks like a Greek god could actually play in the outfield and feel the ball?
Gold Glove with Miami too?
I think so. I think he was an MVP too. So I think he's a pretty well-rounded baseball player.
Let me get a fact check on that Gold Glove. But also, Rob, for a hot second, and you're like, I know. I'm like, you sounded just like Pete Davidson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just that the Northeast stereotypical accent is just like, I don't
know. But yeah, they're playing baseball. The manager, and before, what me and Tyler would complain about on our podcast is they thought in April, May, and a little bit of June, it was always, we're going to save these guys. We're going to give them rest days, and we're going to do all this, and which is kind of around baseball. It's more of like an NBA thing, but we had like a Brooklyn Nets approach, and that's what they would rest players, and they would do this, and they'd say, we're not got to keep Stanton off his feet, and do all this. And that's what they were doing. But now where Aaron Boone is allowed to manage with some urgency, and I give him credit because he's been, I haven't been the biggest fan of him. I'll keep it at that, but he's been doing a good job.
You guys were calling for his head not too long ago. Not specifically you, but Yankees Nation.
Oh no, listen, when
you were, but I didn't want to call you out.
Listen, I have real no shame in saying it, because Hal Steinbrenner, when he came out about I want to say did it in June. It was actually after the game I went to. Do you guys remember the Chapman? There's a lot of them, but the Grand Slam, Jared Walsh off Chapman. I'm sure you guys saw it.
Oh yeah.
So I went to that game with Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 11 o'clock. I say, Rich, I got to get out of here because there's no other train to get back. Like we're going to have to be here till the morning. And it's not going to be like, unless because we wanted to stay for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But so I go, we got to get out of here. So we leave and we're on the train. They're up 4 runs. I said, all right, well, we saw the good offense. We saw everything that I think we missed like the Gardner home run or something. And I'm on the train and Chapman loads the bases, and then I hear him give up a grand slam, and I go, "Oh my God! Thank God I left that game." But nonetheless, what was my point going on? I lost what I was saying. Just because
this team has brought you to the brink of suicide, is that what you're trying to
No,
get at?
it was, dude. Nothing that serious, obviously, but it was in terms of sports fandom, it was pretty bad about the Jose Altuve off Chad Green. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yep.
I mean, the two Boston meltdowns off Chad Green, and then another one when Domingo Germán had a no hitter into the 8th. And then, I mean, I could run down a list, and then the Field of Dreams game. But obviously since then we've rattled off 11 straight wins. But yeah. I mean, I think I was making a point of Boone. I was saying that this guy, I was calling out a lot of his stuff. And I think after that game, that's what it was. After that game, Hal Steinbrenner our owner went on a press conference and put all the onus on the players to flip it around and to make it better. And everyone was saying, well, how can you not criticize Brian Cashman, our general manager? How can you not criticize Boone? And a lot of other media people or closer to the team were saying, oh, it is on the players. And obviously it is on the players because they're the ones going out and performing. But Boone was making some decisions that you just scratch your head and you're like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And so when people ask me, I do give him credit because he's made some good moves in the past week or two. He has made very good moves when it comes to the bullpen. And Brian Cashman obviously made the trades. But I got to say, dude, and Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo, they came out like gangbusters. Gallo had some big games against Chicago. He had a home run against Anaheim. But dude, it's a lot of like Tyler Wade doing this. It's Giancarlo Stanton. Aaron Judge is still playing. He's playing a lot of games this year. It's these guys that have come around that have been here and they're just starting to play good. I got to say, it is a little help from Luke Voigt. It's guys that have been here and they're performing. So I got to, I give Boone credit where credit's due. Like, I'm not going to be a jerk completely, but I got to give the players a lot of credit because they're stepping up.
Fact check. He did not win a Gold Glove, but
no,
he did win a Wilson Defensive Player of the Year award in 2012, which I don't know who
is
that.
A long time ago.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm like, I'm guessing he probably was percentage the highest, the best player in that year in left field or wherever he was playing in Miami, but he didn't win the Gold Glove because that's happened before. Now, I know the one thing I kind of want to push you real quick on the Boone talk is we've had on again, off again talks of like, I don't want him to continue to succeed or kind of go off like this because that means they're just going to bring him back. Mm-hmm. Now at this point with, let's say
I don't care anymore. I've come to the realization that they would have, after a while, like, because I wasn't the biggest fan of him, I thought like the only shot that even wasn't really a shot is if they missed the playoffs. But I'm going to put my team's success before that. At this point, like, yes, we were so down in the dumps that I was like, all right, maybe we do just need to hit rock bottom for this to bring drastic change. But then the trades happened and they started playing well and other teams started to fall like yourselves and Boston. And that baseball's weird. Baseball's weird. That's just kind of what I say. Like, yeah, at that time, I will admit, I thought it was if the Yankees lose and it could be more impactful. I thought there was still like a slight chance that if they if they did continue to lose. But like baseball's like that now. There's only like a select few managers that really have like where the front office allows a man, like for instance, probably Bob Melvin, I would say, has a good amount of control in the managerial sense. Like I guess Tony La Russa, guys like Terry Francona. Like now baseball is just controlled from the front office. So I'm like, why would they even bother wanting to go out and get another guy at this point? So I was just saying, you know, they've kind of made their bed. I guess I'm going to sleep in it as a fan. And I just said I put the team before any kind of that personal dislike for. It's not even that I don't like the guy, because I think he's a really good dude. Like there were points after the BLM stuff was happening that Boone was talking and stuff, and he was like doing a good job. But it was just the baseball stuff that I just said I thought he was inexperienced, and I didn't really think that he was the right guy for the job. And he was too much of a friendly guy around the players and didn't really feel like a boss. I still kind of feel like that, but they're winning. I can't say anything.
Well, you know, it's a big reason why a lot of analysts have been getting those managerial jobs past couple of years, though, is because they are the first to kind of like accept the analytics side of baseball. That's a big reason why. Whereas old school managers who come up through the system, they're very hesitant to go against it because they're like, you know, the old traditional way of baseball. Whereas like if you're an analyst on TV, you kind of have to accept the numbers aspect of it, and you have to look at those things in order to do your job well. So I think that is a big reason why those guys have gotten these jobs. I just wanted to say that real quick. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, I don't really think if Aaron Boone got fired, I don't really think he got offered a job after the Yankees made the American League Championship Series and a Game 7 came one game away from the World Series. Are you going to turn down that job even after? No. Do I think that he gets hired from another baseball team? Maybe
not yet.
But
like that's why
it's just one of those things where it's like if you're a GM and you're trying to fully accept analytics in baseball, you're trying to accept the launch angle, you're trying to accept all these different things that baseball teams are built around now. Who's an easier hire for you? A guy who talks about it all day and is willing to do that, who's inexperienced, but he gets the direction that we're trying to go, or a guy who's going to be a stickler and still play, you know, these different pitching matchups and try and, you know, on and on and on and on and on.
I was going to say too, I think when you're winning at that high of a level at that point, when like if you're repeated playoff success, it is so rare to when somebody gets rid of a manager and replace them with somebody else, that they continue that. Like look at, prime example, the Dodgers got rid of Don Mattingly, bringing in Dave Roberts. That worked. But then I think about who was the Twins manager, and then they got rid of him. They brought in Rocco Baldelli, and things are kind of sliding a little bit there.
Was that Ron Gardenhire?
No,
he was there for a long time.
No, he was there.
No, but I'm saying like before this past year of the Twins, because Baldelli's only been there for a couple of years. It's just what I'm trying to say is just like that's hard as shit to find another manager, take that job to kind of pick up things and make them to continue that stride, to continue that kind of success, and really take somebody really another level, like, you know, Tony La Russa has been doing. As much as I hate to say, he's been doing a good job. And then
it's hard not to do a good job with that roster. I'm sorry. I have to say it. It's hard not.
I think they could be better without him if they had somebody else. But anyways, we're not here to shit on La Russa. We'll more than gladly do it any time of the week. But I want to ask for you for this series. If you're you're a West Coast fan, you're not really watching the Yankees outside of the main guys. Give us like a couple names that, like, I know you said Tyler Wade, but who like a couple other guys this series? Like, hey, watch these guys throughout the series. They might be playing some key roles, whether it's a big play, a big hit.
Yeah, definitely Andrew Velasquez at this point. The guy that's been.
Is that the center fielder? He was a Topps Now card in the show.
I think Rob froze.
No, probably a different Velasquez. Hopefully the connection's not too bad. I'll keep recording for you guys on the end. But no, so Andrew Velasquez, he's a kid from the Bronx. He went to Fordham Prep, so dude's been a Yankees fan. And
is Fordham Prep like a really nice high school in the Bronx?
Yeah, so it's like I think it's pretty close. It's in the Bronx. I think it's like pretty close, I would think, to Fordham. I had a buddy from UConn that went there, and I asked him,
Was
I
it
was
a
like,
private school?
I think so. And
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, did you know this guy? And he's like, nah, but I've heard of him because now, obviously, now he's doing well.
Yeah.
But no, so this kid, he came up and he's bounced around. I think he went to 14 different organizations in his time already, in minors and stuff. But he's been a real impact player for us. In the Boston series that we recently had, where we overtook the second wild card spot, he was hitting go-ahead hits. I went to the game this past weekend. He had his first career home run, and his parents were there, and they were crying and stuff. And he's been playing in one of the Boston games. He played a huge defensive stop in one of the hole. Between Odor is playing third at the time, so he didn't really get over. So we didn't have Urshela. We will get him back tomorrow against you guys. But he made a great play and to end the game, and he's been a real impact guy. And I mean, it's even sprung people, which pisses off a lot of Yankee fans. And it's kind of irrelevant, or it's kind of a stupid point. But people are saying, why don't we keep him and get rid of Glaber and trade Glaber now? And I'm just saying, this guy's been around to a lot of teams. I understand Glaber's defense is not. I'm one that also agrees that Glaber's defense is not the best, and I want to look for a shortstop at some point, whether that's someone in the minors that we have like Volpe that's shot up to number one past Jason Dominguez or whatever. But Velasquez has been really good. I mean, that conversation has been driven around him. So he's a lefty. He's swinging a hot bat at the moment. Outside of that, like I said, we got Gio Urshela back. I don't know if he's going to be an impact guy right away. Luke Voit is also hitting his stride really well. I think out of his last games, he's like 9 for 16. He's got like 11 ribbies. He's got a fire. I don't know if you guys saw, he has a fire lit under his ass because Rizzo came in.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So what do you think about those comments that he made?
Oh, I love Luke Voit, and even
especially coming off a season where he led the league in home runs last year.
Luke Voit has the third highest OPS of any first baseman in baseball since 2018 when he arrived at the Yankees. Higher than Anthony Rizzo. And if you look at a lot of the numbers in the past 3 years, you can make an argument that Luke Voit, outside of probably defense, has been a better offensive producing first baseman than Anthony Rizzo. You can make that argument. But yeah, he's hitting his stride. And when he made those comments, I thought, I mean, if you guys, Julio, you know what I'm talking about when I go, hey, first time, long time. I was listening to the WFAN for a while, and callers were calling in and saying, they stink. Why are you going out and doing this and saying, why are you throwing your team under the bus? And the reporter asked him, he said, hey, where's your mental space at? And he just flat out said it. And he didn't throw Rizzo under the bus. He wasn't like, Riz comes in here and I don't want to put, like, no, he said he understood that he's been hurt this year, and they were looking for
why they did that.
They were looking for, and he acknowledged it. And he said, listen, man, I'm going to make them have a reason to put me in the lineup. And he is. And hopefully, I mean, when we're in the American League playoffs, it shouldn't be an issue because we could just have the lineup when Stanton and the monster. They're calling it. What are they calling it? They're calling it the like the bully package or something, with all three of Gallo, Judge, and Stanton playing the outfield, and then you have Voit DH and Rizzo play first. So it shouldn't be an issue unless we did get to a World Series. Knock on wood, whatever happens. But I mean, I love Luke Voit. I love the comments, and even too, I mean, it's going to be a conversation past this time of people like Yankee fans love Anthony Rizzo. I don't think he's re-signing. I don't think he's re-signing. I don't re-sign him, to be honest with you. I maybe unless if he goes on a streak, then like, and I'm completely wrong, and he wins us the World Series, maybe I'll feel differently. That dude, he got lowballed in Chicago for his first contract, and he's going to demand a lot of money. I think
he was there before the quote unquote dynasty, though. That's why he got lowballed, and he signed that contract before that.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, and it seems like the intentions of the Cubs is to pull what we did with Chapman and 4 years ago, and just re-sign him, because like dude, their fan base was so.
I don't know, man. You got Voit locked up till 2025. That doesn't
Exactly
make any sense to me.
What
financially?
Yeah, no. To me, see, dude, it's been this love affair with Rizzo already, and I understand it. We have a lot of Italians in New York. I get it.
Especially the picture with him and like the chain and everything like that.
Yeah,
that probably won over all of New York right there.
It's hard not to love him. He's such a good personality.
He's a good dude. He's a personality. He plays baseball the right way. But yeah, from a fight, like we just signed DJ LeMahieu to $96 million, and he's already starting to have a fall off, and Yankee fans are mad. I'm like, you're gonna give Rizzo probably more money, same amount of years, like that. We just did this last year, and you're mad about this guy. I know he's a lefty bat, but we can go out and explore a Corey Seager possibly, because I don't think he's going back to the Dodgers, and you put him at short, whatever. Go find a lefty center field. I mean, if they want to take Hicks back, but I don't know about Hicks. I'd kind of look for something else at this point. But you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, they have a love affair with him. So when a lot of the fans were sensitive when Luke Voit mentioned him in the comments, it was like, you have to give Rizzo respect. And honestly, Luke Voigt's been hitting better than Anthony Rizzo. And it is what it is, dude. But he's going to contribute if we make a run. That's for sure.
But also you have to look at it this way, and I think you kind of alluded to it earlier, is that they're starting to take the reins off of Stanton a little bit more. They're not coddling him as more with his. I know he has an injury history, so it makes sense why they did it. So like then your lineup gets a little bit tougher to mess with. You could say it's a good thing. You could do the Dodgers method, which is what me and Julio have been saying, kind of what the A's did at the trade deadline. They just got a lot of depth, so there's a lot of versatility in the lineup, but like that's like star power versatility. That's just like wasting money. You want guys to play every single day. Like I don't know. It's just it seems weird and unnecessary when you can spend that money elsewhere in a need that you keep saying you guys clearly need, which is shortstop. You keep bitching about the shortstop position, so I mean obviously that's a need for you guys.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they're even gonna do with that. So I mean, because they have this kid Volpe that's been killing it, and he's like shooting up the minor league chart. Like he passed Jason Dominguez, who the Martian and people know about. And I don't know what they're gonna end up doing with shortstop. Like I don't really want to think about it until after the season. But yeah, that's why I say when people are just talking like you go like as soon as
you're
Rizzo
talking about Rizzo and Voit right now.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is the only reason that was because we were talking about the signing and the comments that he made, and people were jumping down Voigt's throat, and they're like, oh, you can't, like, don't disrespect him. And I'm just like, relax. Like Rizzo probably won't even be in our realm to re-sign unless something else happens and Cashman pulls whatever he can. But like, I just would rather, I would tell like people on Twitter and stuff. It's like, can we not think about re-signing this guy and just enjoy him as a rental and what we got him for, which is to get us to the postseason and make a run? Like people, the Yankee fans in that sense, like very, they need to kind of get a little bit more perspective when it comes to that, hopefully. But who's going to do that? Baseball fans going to do what baseball fans do, and Yankee fans do. So it is what it is.
Voigt's still at high A though. He's only 20, so I don't know if you see him in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's probably going to be after 2023, and I don't even think they'll call him up. So that's why I'm saying, Seager, but he doesn't really fix the defense that much, to be honest. I really liked Story. I thought they were going to get Story at the deadline, but apparently the Rockies were asking for too much of a package. I really like Trevor Story. I think he's a stud defender. Only thing that pisses, or that I wish he was a lefty, because then it would just be like kind of automatic. Like that's kind of a no-brainer. But he's a righty, and then I don't know if you get Hicks back, that's another lefty in the line. We have Gallo for another year, so I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird. And then Judge and Gallo and Sanchez are all free agents in 2023. What are you going to do there? The year after, Glaber's a free agent. Like, is he going to – next year's the biggest year of Glaber's career because it's kind of a make or break if they're going to continue with him. So,
yeah.
It's let's see what they do 2021, man. 2021.
Yeah. Where it's like we're going to talk about the present, not the future. Or no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that conversation really got away with us, but it's fine.
Anyways, Andrew Vasquez. That's who you need to watch, friends.
Yeah.
Also, I just love the question when they asked him on a post game, like, what would your neon sign say? And he's like, what?
Yeah,
and
Lindsay.
like, oh, what are you
Lindsay
doing?
Adler asked him that, and I heard it, and I go, oh, shout out the Bodega Boys, and then it kind of just went over his head, and I was like, damn, I thought he would have gotten that. So I did hear that too.
I actually want to get your opinion because you asked me this on when I was with you guys, and you seem pretty aware of it because your friendship with us. But like, what's kind of the feel of the A's? What's your opinion of the team right now? What is just kind of the general opinion of the Yankees fans? I like, even if they're saying, hey, they don't take him serious. Like, I'm glad to hear it. Whatever you want to say, but.
So the vast majority, I could definitely tell you that Yankee fans are in full like douchebag mode right now. They are in full. No one's beating us. Just full disclosure. Before that, and I guess I could see right because we had a rough.
Aren't
year,
Yankee fans always like that when they're on?
Yeah, that's true. But the my feeling was prior to you guys kind of falling down in the standings. Because I was scoreboard watching for sure. I was looking at the standings like every day after every game. Every game, I was looking, seeing what you guys were doing. And prior to that, like the deadline, you guys were winning. You guys were doing your thing. And I was like, this is going to be a tough team to beat, man. Like, I don't think it's good. I was telling Tyler, like, this is going to take until into September, which it still is. Like, you guys can definitely do some damage this weekend. But my feeling was like, you guys had a very formidable staff. I think your bullpen is pretty solid, although Julio said you guys have been blowing some games lately. Got a little case of the Chapmans and the Britons. So
yeah, we got a string of bad luck.
Matt Chapman, I think, has been kind of down this year, right? A little bit, but hasn't he been catching up a little bit?
No.
Yeah.
He had a nice little run with I think it was like 3 home runs in 4 games or something like that. And everybody was kind of losing their mind, but he slowed down again once.
Yeah. I love Starling Marte. He's one of my favorite players in baseball to watch. He's dope. He's really good. And when you guys got him, I was like, oh, see, Oakland's not going anywhere, man. They're going for it too. The Laureano stuff I paid attention to of how you guys lost him. But if my opinion on the A's, I'm not going to. Mine's like a realistic opinion that if, like I said, if we match up in a wild card game, I'm going to be nervous no matter what, even after what we did in 2018 to you guys. It's a 1-game wild card. Anything can happen. I'm still going to feel confident going into it, but it is definitely, if you look through Yankees Twitter, it's definitely disrespect. Definitely disrespect. I will say, like, just for your guys' sake, I hope we match up so you guys can make the playoffs, but my road to hypothetical, just to be a Yankee fanboy.
You'd rather play the Mariners?
No, I'd love to play the Red Sox in a 1-game wild card and beat them. Actually. I would love to play Boston and then go on. I don't want to play Tampa. Do not let me play Tampa Bay. I am done. Undervaluing them. I am done. I do not want to play them. Let me play however it would shake out. I don't even know if this would be possible, but like Boston in the first round, then Chicago, and then give me Houston or something. Because
I'm telling you right now, everybody in the country who's not an Oakland A's fan and not a Seattle Mariners fan is rooting for that. And ESPN, you can bet, and Major League Baseball, you can bet, are rooting for that as well because the ratings are going to skyrocket for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. It would be great for baseball, but like I don't want anything to do with the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's the thing.
That's not a reality though, because they're in first and one of you guys is going to take first, either you or them. Like that's not a world that we're going to live in because the Red Sox ain't coming back. I hate to break it to the Red Sox fans, but that's not fucking happening.
And they're currently losing 4-0 to the Minnesota Twins. Just throw that out there.
It's
just for it would shake up. I don't want to play them. I don't want to see them. So that's however it does end up. But no, Boston. Listen, man, Boston. They just, it was funny because Carabas was talking about Bobby Dahlback being like the big because they missed out on Rizzo and we just kind of swept them, and that was funny too. Like we just swept up and took them. And Bobby Dahlbeck is actually, I think his numbers are pretty good. But the other day when we overtook them, he made like a massive error on a ball hit by Anthony Rizzo, and Carabas was going crazy. And like he went on like a 10-minute Instagram video of saying like State of the Union for the Red Sox. So I mean, anytime that happens,
that dude's a clown though. Like it's like I'm ready to unfollow him on Twitter because just like there's so many other people who
we've had a
what
few
you do
interactions. He quote tweets us sometimes because I know like we just like give him little jabs and he'll like quote tweet us and just say
that's how you have to do it now. It's annoying, but it's like
that guy fucking sucks. We had our issue with him not too long ago. All right, final prediction, Rob. You know the matchups, or do you want them? Do you know them? The pitching matchups? Do you care?
I don't know the exact matchups. I can look on my phone real quick. So
it's Talion versus Caprillion. Did I say that right? Talion?
Taillon
versus Caprillion, Cole versus Manaea, Cortez versus Montas, and Montgomery versus Blackburn. I'm sure you don't even know who Blackburn is. Yeah. So what do you think?
So I think
if I were you, I would have all the confidence in the world to be like, you guys have been fucking terrible lately.
I told Julio before in our pod, I think they win 3 out of 4. I do think you guys get us one game just because. So game 1, Caprillion versus Taillon, that's going to be, I think tomorrow will be the best game because of that matchup. Because I think
big time.
Caprillion is he's been doing well, right? So and Taillon he won, I think, player of the month in July or pitcher of the month. So he surprised the crap out of me. I didn't think because he was like a 2-pitch pitcher and now he's finding it, which is great for his career. I mean, the dude came back from two Tommy Johns, a cancer diagnosis, like awesome for that dude. Friday,
I will say Friday, Manaea had a big bounce back start last week. I don't know if he's going to be quite to like the ace form that he has been all season, but I just wouldn't be as confident as you might want to be right now with that one.
Yeah. Well, so here's
the thing, he was trash 2 starts before that.
Cole, whenever Cole is on the mound, you got to feel good as a Yankee fan because it's your ace.
If you're any fan, if Cole's on the mound, he's on your team.
But the last start, I saw his last start against Minnesota, 6 innings pitched. I think no earned run, I don't think he gave up an earned run. But he's had those weird instances where he does give up a dud. I don't think it's this game.
I don't think our team can do that. I just don't.
Yeah, so I don't.
We've been hitting lately. I don't think we're the team to give up the dud too.
So I don't think it's that game.
But also Saturday is the one I would be scared of. If I were you. Montas is on a fucking roll. He's put together 5 ace quality starts. I would be a little concerned.
Julio.
That's the only one.
To answer your question, I cannot believe that I did not bring this man up when you said who is an under the radar player that
the stash
A's fans may need to hear about. Nasty Nestor Cortez.
Is it Cortez? Okay. All right.
Nasty Nestor.
Yeah, I've been seeing what's going on with him. He's been nasty.
Frankie, he may be on a roll, man, but this dude, Nestor Cortez, is a throwback.
All right, Saturday we're in for a treat then. A pitcher's duel,
major throwback. So
I'm excited now.
Dude, I've been arguing. I like our last pod. I was like, dude, I kind of want Nestor Cortez before Jordan Montgomery, who will be pitching Monday or Sunday. I was like, because he shut down the White Sox. He shut down the Red Sox. He's been shutting down all these guys. Or I don't know if he shut out. I know he didn't give up any earned runs against the White Sox. I'm pretty sure. So that's a good line, especially when Eloy and Luis are back in that lineup. Like he gives you crazy looks. He gives you the fun. Look out for some Cueto-like deliveries. He gives you the weird herky jerky stuff. I mean, they got Mario t-shirts for him. I gotta buy one. He's so don't sleep on him. That could be a very underrated game.
No, you got me excited for Saturday. Now I'm gonna be in Scottsdale drunk off my ass, but I will be checking in on the game now. Definitely.
You gotta keep an eye on it. You gotta keep an eye on it. And Blackburn versus Montgomery. Montgomery didn't look great his last start. So and away. I don't know. He just got back from COVID, so I think that's a day that you could definitely get him. So if I had to predict,
just
out of
so
my
you
3
know,
out of 4,
Blackburn's the replacement for Bassett right now. So he's he's kind of a journeyman. He's been up and down,
and
the
he's
organization
also from
for a
our
few years.
hometown, so we
He
got
is.
some extra love for him.
Yeah,
nice. But if I had to predict which one of those 3 out of 4 is going to be the loss, I'd have to say Sunday on the getaway day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, Saturday should be. I'm not going to guarantee. Like the first game, I think is a guaranteed should be a good game overall with Caprillion and Tyone. But don't sleep on Saturday. Don't sleep on Saturday. That could be a really good pitching duel, especially with Nestor on the bump. So,
all right, A's fans, you heard it first.
but hope we don't get
from Robbie.
Aroldis Chapman doesn't pitch, and
hopefully Lou
game
Trevino doesn't pitch. So that we're both rooting for our.
I'd be more nervous for Chapman than Lou, but I see what you mean. All right, Robbie, thank you for joining us. Before you go out and plug your shit.
Plug away, bro.
Stay on here.
Yes, go follow at Four Savages if you like to hear some obnoxious Yankee fans, I guess, and get to hear some takes on what the team's doing. I'm pretty respectful to the A's. I'll give them the respect where respect is due. So if you want to catch up on what is happening with the team, and keep an eye on us, because we may be matching up, man. Hopefully we can, if it ends up that we're in a wild card situation, we may have to come back and get all 4 of us together and do something for prior to the game. But yeah, I'm super pumped to watch the game. It's going to be difficult though with the 10 o'clock start or 9:40 starts on my time. Like I'm going to be we were playing, there was a West Coast game a month ago, and I was like fighting sleeping. So Thursday and Friday should be I should try and stay up, but I may have to.
You don't realize the luxury that West Coast sports fans have until you are on the East Coast. Like when I started traveling East Coast and like having to stay up till 10 o'clock to watch Warrior games, I'm like, oh, this.
Yeah, I went on vacation once.
Stay up till 1 to watch Warriors games, but like
I went to
start till 10. Like it's brutal.
I went on vacation once in California, and it was like 3 in the afternoon or something, and it was like a nighttime game.
Oh, dude, football is when it's the best. You got to come here to.
Oh, hell yeah,
yeah.
All right, so, coffee football. All right,
exactly.
Robbie,
thanks a lot, Rob. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we could talk soon around playoff time. If we're there, cross your fingers.
Let's go Yankees, and shout out Town Tailgate, man.